Hi everybody, welcome back. In this video we're gonna continue with our GTA-like series. Now in the previous video we made this timeline using the playable director component. In this video what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue with our timeline, end our timeline, and have a player to be able to control. And we will be doing a simple character controller, and we will add to that character controller in later videos to keep this video short. But yeah, let's just get started. So what we're going to do to end this actual clip is we're going to add an event. Now I did adjust this a little bit. So if we scrub through this timeline, usually it ended around here. Now I did adjust it for the player to actually rotate a little bit. So he's going to rotate, and right about here we're going to add an event. So actually let me just remove this because I wasn't supposed to be here. We're going to add, it's called the signal track. So now the signal track is kind of like a button event. It's going to, trigger an event. Now the way we're going to add the signal is we're going to go to the director. We're going to add a component, and this component is going to be called signal receiver, and we're going to add a reaction. Now this reaction, we're actually going to create a new signal. This new signal, we're probably going to put something like intro, end intro. We could put signal, but I'm just going to put end intro. And we're going to add two events pretty much. Now this first event we're going to add is going to be the director. Second one is going to be the player. We're just going to turn them off. So this one's going to be false. This one's going to be true. Now I'm not sure if it matters what order it is, but we'll find out. If you could always move this up to see if that works. Now actually this is not the player we want. We're going to duplicate this player. We're going to move him out. Now I did copy his components already to where I wanted it, so I'm just going to paste it for quick iteration. And as you can see, it placed them right here to right in front of the police station, facing kind of the way the timeline ended. So see, now this player, we're going to leave everything on. The only thing I think we're going to change is going to be the main camera. So I'm going to zero it out and I'm going to move it back. Let me see the game, maybe a little more back to maybe about there, and that's pretty much going to be our player. I'm going to just set this to player, and I'm going to add a character controller. Now this is going to be for our script that we're going to make in a little bit. Collapse these, and if we go back to our director, we're going to drag in this player one. Let's erase this, but you guys could put I don't know, player, director, director player, or main player. Keep things a little more organized, but I'm just going to keep it like that for now. And I'm going to set this function to be game object set active to true. If I turn this one off and I hit play, actually let me go back. I'm going to mute the audio for you guys so you guys don't have to hear that audio every time. If you go to those three dots and click on the mute button, it mutes the audio, but everything still works as expected. So now we're going to see if, actually it's not going to work. The event won't work because we have to actually add it. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to add a signal emitter. Now you're going to kind of want to right click where this bar is. Now as you can see, it gives us this warning. The emit signal is going to come from end intro. That's the signal we created. And we still got this none signal receiver. The signal receiver is on our director. It's the one that we put on the director. So it's going to receive that signal and call that event when it reaches, that line. Now if we hit play, and it should work. So now as you can see, it worked. Now if we go to our scene, we can see our player is kind of lifted way off the ground. The reason for that is if we go to our player and see our character controller, we can see our collider is way down here, and we'll just fix that in a second. So now with that director done, we're just going to go straight to our player and fix that. So right here on the center, we're going to change this to be around where we would like. So turn off the audio source widget right here. Wait, did it help? The icon actually. So now, yeah, that's that's still a little off, right about there, and we're good to go. Now we're gonna add the script real quick. It's just gonna be called character movement. Like I said, I'm gonna try to break down everything into separate scripts so it's not so complicated or confusing. Character movement, and we're gonna edit script. Now with that opened up, we're gonna start on our character movement, and we're gonna need not really the start but the awake. And we'll just erase this comment, erase this other comment, and we will need our update. So let's just start with our variables. We're gonna add some serialized fields, and it's gonna be a float for our movement speed, and we could set it right here, but I'm gonna set it in the inspector. And we're gonna have a jump force. We're also gonna have gravity. And this one I am gonna set it right here. It's just gonna be equal to 9.81F. And we're just gonna add our private character controller, and we're gonna add a vector 3, and it's gonna be move direction. And lastly, we will add a private bool called can jump. So this is, you'll see what all these are used for right now. So on our way, the first thing we're gonna do is get character controller, and we're gonna get the component character controller. This is gonna get the component on the game object that has the script. On the update, we're gonna put move direction dot x is gonna equal input dot get axis, the horizontal axis. So by default, this should all work unless you change this in the input settings, movement speed, and then we're gonna put move direction dot y. It's gonna equal input dot get axis vertical. So make sure you guys spell this correctly. I'll show you where this is actually located at, and we're also gonna have this equal move speed or movement speed, and then we're gonna do move direction dot z, which will be the jumping, is gonna be equal to gravity. And just like that, now we're gonna check the input. So if input dot get button down, you could also use get key down, but get button down will work on the gamepad and also on the keyboard. So we're just gonna put get button down. I have made a video on cheat codes as well. You could use get button down as well. You just have to look up the string name for each button. So this is get button down jump, and then we're gonna put and can jump. So if we're able to jump as well, so if that's set to true, we're gonna hit move direction dot y is gonna be equal to jump force. And I actually made a mistake because this is supposed to be z and this is supposed to be y, unless you're in Unreal Engine. And then after that, can jump will be equal to false. So if I pushed it, I'm in the air, can jump is gonna be equal to false. Now right here we're gonna put if character controller dot is grounded. So if it is on the ground, then can jump will be equal to true. So that works the same as this. If you only have one line of code, you do not need these curly brackets. If you do have more than one line of code, you do. So I just got this one line. I'm just going to leave it like that. Later on, I might add those curly brackets to add some kind of particle effect or something like that, but they'll be in a later video. Now for the movement, we got the jumping part down, but for the movement, we're going to have to put character controller dot move. We're going to pass in the move direction, and we're going to times it by time dot delta time. Now the reason we times it by time dot delta time is that depending on the user's machine device that they're using, it will calculate it depending on that. So now we'll just set the movement speed to something like 10 and the jump force to something like 10, and gravity is actually not 9.81 but negative 9.81, and we don't have to set that at all. So we could actually, unless you guys want to change the gravity settings, you could just have this as a private variable, so we don't have to see it in the inspector at all. No serialized field in front of it. Now we just got movement speed and jump speed, and we're gonna turn this off, hit play, let the timeline do its magic. I think I should have made this timeline a little shorter, but it is around, I think, like 9 seconds or 10. Now everything works. Now if I try to move, as you can see, I can move my character. Now we don't have the animation set up yet, but we will in a later video. I just don't want to make this video too long. And we could actually jump, but you can see he's not really jumping too high. So we could change this to maybe 50. Still don't really jump too high. Let's do 100. So you guys could kind of play around with that, the settings you guys like. And like I said, I will make this script a little more advanced, just so we could be able to, you know, move around our town, check it out, and stuff like that. So let's see how much time we got. We might add the movement right. So actually, you know what? I think we're just gonna cut it here. But in the next video, I will add movement for the camera, so you will be able to look, you know, side to side and up and down and everything like that. Just like I said, I don't want to make this video too long. And yeah, write down what you guys want to see after that, or maybe even during that. Maybe it's something quick. I will do it in the next video as well. So anything that you want to see that is GTA like. So yeah, anything you guys want to see, just let me know in the comments down below. and I'll try to do a video on that as quick as possible. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Once again, thank you guys.